Good morning.
Good morning, Mary.
I am Reverend Mary Dunn, and I'm honored to be here with you this morning. And I'm glad that we are here and that we are open. Because, of course, there's always a new something coming up. So, whether you're here with us or whether you watch us via live stream, we want you to know that all of us here are sending you our love. That we truly realize that our Unity family is precious. I'm going to go ahead and start with the announcements because I know every single face out here. Nobody can do it. And I can see your faces too. Our prayer chaplain today is Joyce Miller. So if you need prayer, she will meet you in this corner and be happy to pray with you. Our board member today is Jan Carnes. If you have any questions about the board, the church, feel free to approach her with those. And now I'd like for you to join me, please, in our opening statement. Together. Our mission is to provide a prosperous and loving community by connecting to God through prayer and following the teachings of Christ. Let's say that one more time. Our mission is to provide a prosperous and loving community by connecting to God through prayer and following the teachings of Christ. Please join me in affirming our opening statement. Together. I am one with divine wisdom. I see my way clearly. Again, please. I am one with divine wisdom. I see my way clearly. And let us pray. And we say, Father, Mother, God, living, loving presence. We are grateful for the Christ presence within, knowing that there is nothing stronger, knowing that any challenge, any little bump in the road is a given, that we know that we can handle it. We send our prayers out to the people dealing with storms, hurricanes, wildfires, and to the people in Afghanistan who need all the prayers that they can get. We pray, Father, knowing that all is in divine order. We're grateful for our family, our community here, and we say thank you, God. Thank you, God. In the name, through the power of the living Christ. And so it is. Amen. The daily word is trust. I trust in God. In the past, I may have placed my trust in someone or something that let me down, making it hard for me to trust again. I have learned from those experiences that I should place my trust not in things of the world, but in God, the one presence and one power in the universe. I place my trust in the abundant love of infinite spirit. I commit myself to a deepening trust in God. And as I do, I can feel God's love blessing my heart and mind. I anchor my faith in that abiding quality of limitless love and light. I acknowledge the presence of God in all things, always. Through my trust in God, I see others in a new light and open myself to forgive and release the past. My trust in God heals my heart. O Israel, trust in the Lord. He is their hope and their shield. Psalm 115:9.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you guys doing?
Good.
We're making it without James, so life is good, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, I haven't forgot my joke for this morning. Here we go, Mary. All right. So Adam and Eve are in the Garden of Eden, right? And Eve seems to notice that they both put on some pounds. So she's thinking they need to start eating healthier, right? So she sends out Adam to go get some healthy food out of the garden. And Adam comes back with his basket full of stuff. And Eve says to him, Adam, aren't you impressed? I'm eating salad for lunch. And Adam says, I would be, but you're eating my dirty laundry. Where's James? You know, everything's about perception, right?
Yes.
All right, so this month we've been working on wisdom, right? Wisdom. And I have some stories that are going to help me today. Because I thought, God, how do I spend 5 weeks talking about wisdom? Wisdom's pretty straightforward. You connect to wisdom, you get it, you get all the answers, and life is good, right? So what else can I say about wisdom? Well, I have some other things to say about wisdom today, because with wisdom also comes the faculties of judgment and divine justice. So we're going to try to get those covered today, but I have a few stories to start off with. So here we go. One day, a girl came upon a cocoon, and she could tell that a butterfly was trying to hatch. She waited and watched the butterfly struggle for hours to release himself from the tiny little hole. All of a sudden, the butterfly stopped moving, and it seemed to be stuck. The little girl then decided to help get the butterfly out. She went home to get a pair of scissors to cut the cocoon open. The butterfly was then easily able to escape. However, its body was swollen and its wings were underdeveloped. The little girl still thought she had done the butterfly a favor, as she sat there waiting for its wings to grow in order to support its body. However, that was not happening. The butterfly was unable to fly, and for the rest of its life, it could only move by crawling around with little wings and a large body. Despite the girl's good intentions, she didn't understand that the restriction of the butterfly's cocoon and the struggle the butterfly had to go through in order to escape served an important purpose. As a butterfly emerges from a tight cocoon, it forces the fluid from their body into their wings to prepare them to fly. So we're going to talk about this faculty of divine judgment. Because, now I used to tell you that judgment was a bad thing, right? It's not good to judge people, criticize people. But actually it can be a very good and helpful tool when we use it along with the power of love, right? But in the story with the butterfly, the little girl sees that the butterfly is struggling. So she makes a judgment. The butterfly is struggling. I need to help it, right? But what she doesn't know, and if she would have listened to the wisdom within her, and if she would have come from a place of love, she might have gotten that intuition that would say to leave the butterfly alone. But she didn't. She thought she was going to help the butterfly. She opened the cocoon, and now, because the butterfly did not have to struggle, it can't fly. So how many times in life have we thought God has deserted us, we're a victim, things aren't working out, we are struggling, just like this little butterfly is in the cocoon, right? We're struggling. But guess what? We need that. We need the darkness. We need the struggle in order to get stronger in our truth, stronger in our faith, stronger in knowing who we are, stronger in knowing that we can overcome whatever it is that's coming at us. Just like this butterfly. It could fly. If it struggled to break free of that cocoon, it could fly over anything and live a happy and successful life. But because one little girl took judgment on her own to decide that the butterfly wasn't going to make it unless she helped it, actually hindered it. Now, I don't know about you moms out there, but this is a hard lesson for us, for the moms, because we hate to see our children struggle. We hate to see that. I know for myself. And it's very difficult for us to not just open the cocoon and help it out, right? But that's not what true love, that's not what love with judgment wants us to do. If we use that loving judgment, we know that we're supposed to step back and let the child learn to walk. Because if we didn't like it, see it falling down all the time, we would do its walking for it, right? When they learn to walk, they fall down tons of times. And we don't like to see them fall down, but we can't walk for them, so we let them fall down. We let them get back up, and we let them try again. So we can use this power of wisdom and this power of judgment along with the power of love to hear that we don't always need to judge by appearance. Because that's what the girl did in the story. And that's what Jesus tells us in the Bible. Do not judge by appearances. Judge using righteous judgment. And what the heck is righteous judgment? Because a lot of times when we hear that word righteous, we think it's people who are living the 10 Commandments and going to church every day and living that righteous life, right? Well, that's not really what righteous is all about. I have heard and learned that righteousness means right useness of the truth principles. To use the principles in the right way. Which would be using your judgment based in love, knowing that you're seeing something struggling, but yet it needs to struggle in order to grow. I just think that's an amazing story. Because a lot of times in life, don't we feel like we're struggling, and wouldn't it be nice if somebody would just reach out their hand and pull us out of whatever it is we're in the midst of, right? But lo and behold, maybe that's not the right and perfect answer. Maybe we're supposed to learn something by getting out of the conflict on our own. Just maybe. It's supposed to deepen our faith. Just maybe we're supposed to get a deeper connection with God. Just maybe by being on our own, we start trusting in that wisdom that is within us and start listening to what we're told to do and do it. But that's never going to happen if somebody reaches out that hand and says, here, let me solve all your problems. But that's what I want, right? Most of the time. Can't somebody just come and give me $1 million? Can't I just win the lottery? That would solve all my problems, right? No, it wouldn't solve any of my problems. And just like this butterfly, I wouldn't learn my strengths. I wouldn't learn where my true prosperity comes from. I would learn to listen to that divine wisdom that is right there within me. I'm not saying it's not to ask for help, because sometimes we do need to ask for help, but sometimes not. So we have to depend on this judgment, this faculty of discernment that is within us to let us know. Just to let us know. And it will. It will tell you when you need to help somebody else. It will tell you when you can do things on your own. That love and judgment faculty together is the answer all the time. So I have another example. Right here. In the 1940s, there was a man who at the age of 65 was living off $99 Social Security checks in a small house, driving a beat-up car. He decided it was time to make a change. So he thought about what he had to offer that other people might benefit from. So there he goes, working with that power of wisdom. What is it that I have that other people might benefit from? His mind went to his fried chicken recipe, which his friends and family absolutely loved. He left his home in the state of Kentucky and traveled throughout the country trying to sell his recipe to restaurants. He even offered the recipe for free, asking for only a small chunk of money that was earned. However, most of the restaurants declined his offer. In fact, 1,009 restaurants said no. But after all those rejections, he persisted. I want you to see the strength you gain in that. He persisted. He believed in himself and his chicken recipe. When he visited restaurant 1010, guess what? He got a yes, and his name is Colonel Sanders. Now, judgment without love would tell you this man was crazy. Anybody looking from this from the outside would say, here is a 65-year-old man living on Social Security, driving a beat-up car, and he thinks he's going to make money selling his recipe for chicken. Isn't that what the world of appearance would say to this man? But that's not where he went. He took that divine judgment within him, not looking at what the world of appearance was telling him correct. He used his judgment righteously. He said, no, I know I'm a divine child of God. I know I am supposed to be prosperous, and I'm going to achieve it. And every one of these rejections is building my faith every day. Till he got there. And he achieved it. And yes, Kentucky Fried Chicken is everywhere. I'm sure he's a billionaire by now. But that's the difference between the world of appearance judgment and the judgment that is attached with love. Because we need to have judgment, we really do. You need to know or be able to discern what paths are good for you, what paths are not. You need to be able to, when you smell something, be able to determine what you're smelling. I mean, there's reasons why you need to have this faculty of judgment within you. You need to know what's the right path. You need to be able to discern the truth when you hear it. And what you do, it resonates in your heart. You need to have that ability to know the truth when you hear it. So judgment is a good thing. It is a good thing when we use it in the right way. It gets bad, just like in both these stories, when we start judging from the world of appearance. World of appearance says we can't do something. Well, let's give up on the world of appearance because they don't know anything. They don't know what you're capable of doing. They didn't know what Colonel Sanders was capable of doing, right? So when you use that faculty of judgment attached with love, then maybe, just maybe, somebody can come up to me and tell me that, Denise, there's an easier way to do this, right? And I lovingly accept it and say, yes, you're right. Thank you so much for telling me that. It is a much easier way to do that. Instead of hearing it as criticism. And that's what we do as well. When we're in this place of love, and love with our judgment faculty, we can see somebody is giving us an easier way to do something. But when we're not in that space of love, attached with judgment, we're more than likely going to see it as a criticism. And we're going to go to that place in our ego and say, oh, my way is better. Your way is not the right way to be doing it. So things just all come together when we stay in that place of love, attached to that faculty of judgment, and then we don't get hurt. Then we don't get hurt. Because then there's nothing you can say that's going to hurt me. Because I'm in that place of love. Now naturally there's things in the world that we don't like to see, right? There's mean people out there not doing things that we think they should be doing or shouldn't be doing. But is it our place to judge them? Is it our place to say they're bad people, evil people? Is it our place to say they should all rot in hell because they're doing bad things? Now I sound like an old minister, right? They're gonna rot in hell. It's not my place to judge that. Because who knows, just like this butterfly in the cocoon, what they're needing to go through to achieve the strengths that they're trying to achieve. Who knows what their soul came here to learn. I heard a story from a lady this week that her wife, they were a couple, her wife had given birth to an autistic son. And the wife was always feeling very guilty that she had done something that made this child autistic. And they had gone to this healing center of some kind, and they'd gone into meditation and into prayer. And this lady actually got a vision of her son, healthy, talking to her, saying, Mom, I've been here, I've been a dentist, I've been a doctor, I've been a singer, I've been all these wonderful things. And now I'm somebody that gets all this love. So, who's to say being an autistic child is a bad thing? Maybe they're here to receive all the love that they truly never got in previous lifetimes. We don't know what a soul's journey is here to do. Just like the butterfly in the cocoon. We can try to help it and maybe destroy it in the process. There's people out there, there's this other part in the movie I remember from The Shack. I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie The Shack, but it's a very moving movie where Judgment, the wisdom angel, had come, and this guy had been abused during his early years, and she was asking him if his father should be punished, and he said, yes, my father should be punished for what he did to me. And then she shows him another movie on a screen of a little boy who's getting way more physical abuse than he did, and she says to him, do you want this boy to be punished? And he says, no. And he says, well, that little boy is your father. That little boy is your father. So to judge by the world of appearance really does us no good, because we don't see the big picture. We don't know why souls have come here to learn. We don't know exactly what we've come here to learn until we move through something. So I'm going to get to this part of divine justice as well. Because since I've been working on this week, I got my own little lesson I had to learn, which is always fun, right? So there was experience in, is it grade school? Junior high. I was in 4-H. Was anybody here in 4-H? I was in 4-H. I made this dress. It was bright green and blue dress. And of course they have a dress review that you get to wear your dress and you get judged on your dress, right? So I go up there, and at the end of the program, I didn't win anything. And my 4-H leader seemed to be pretty confused that I didn't win anything, because she thought I should have gotten something, right? So after it's over, she comes up to me and she says, you know what, Denise? Your scorecard was just the same as the lady who won. It was just attached to the back of it. Somebody had paper clipped them together. So you got the same score as the winning lady. Do you want to know what that did to me? I think she thought she was trying to help me. But it taught me that life was not fair. Life was not fair. Here I'd gotten the same score as this other girl, and I got no recognition at all. None. I remember crying myself to sleep that night, thinking, and I went to school with a bunch of rich kids. I came up with my own conclusion that the rich people are always going to win. Life is not fair. Now, because I did that, and I hid it, because I hadn't thought about that for years, I buried it, I get to experience unfair experiences, because I believe life is unfair. So every now and then, the universe is going to present to me a situation where I feel like I have been screwed over. Once again, by somebody who makes a lot of money. It's going to keep coming around. So you know what I did? I relived that experience in my mind, and I heard my name coming as tying as first place in the pageant. And I let myself hear the applause, and I saw myself in my green and blue dress again, and I went out and I took my bow, and I was just happy. Absolutely happy. And the other thing that I figured out was, when I watch American Idol, when somebody gets that golden buzzer, I just cry. But you gotta know, that's healing that little part of me that says life is not fair. There's some person who just did her best and she got the golden buzzer. And I cry every time. But you gotta know, that's healing that little girl in me that didn't get to hear that I won or tied for first place. So just go back and think about it. Are there experiences in your life where you think you have been treated unjustly? Where you think somebody treated you unfair? Because in all truthfulness, as she says in the song, there are no mistakes. Everything fades into God. So how could you ever be treated unjustly other than to learn a lesson in life? other to learn a lesson in life about yourself. There are no mistakes. There is no way you can be treated unjustly unless you believe you can be treated unjustly. And then it happens. But in all truthfulness, anything that is yours by divine right is yours. There's nobody out there in that outer world that can take it from you. There's nobody out there that can beat you to it. It's divinely yours. So there is divine justice in the world. If there's something that's divinely mine, nobody in this room can stop it from happening. Nobody in the outer world can beat me to it. But that's what the world is all about, right? We got the aggressive people who are going to get to the top first, and then we got the shyer people who just know the aggressive ones are going to get there good, right? Well, no. No, there is divine justice in the world. There is a law that says whatever is rightfully yours is yours. But do we believe that? Do we have faith in that? Because how many times do you believe something can be taken away from you? I truly believe that's why we watch the news. So we can see what's going on in the world, and if that's going to take something away from me, if that's going to hurt me in some way, shape, or form, is why I watch the news. So it's time to stop all that, because there is no unjust God. There is no unjust God. God is love. God is justice. We're the ones messing all that up. We're the ones saying, oh God, I've done all this work and nothing's happening. Help me. Well, that's okay. But you got to keep the faith. You got to keep the faith. That what is your highest and best good is coming, and no one in the world can take it away from you. No one. Not me, not the government, not your neighbor, not anybody out there. Because there is divine justice. They can't do it. So, does anybody have an experience that they believe was unjust? Are you ready to let it go today? So you don't have to experience any more unjust experiences. All right, well, let's do this prayer meditation and we'll get there. So let's just close our eyes. Take a deep breath. Almighty God, we know your power, your presence is here. That your power and presence has been with us from the beginning of time. So we take this moment just to feel all that love that is right there deep within you and all around you, so that you know that you're in a safe place, that you can feel this amazing love of God. And in this beautiful, safe place, we can bring to mind just one experience where we felt that we were treated unjust. And we just take that experience and we hand it over to God, and we surround it and we enfold it in all the love. And we give it to God. And we just let this loving energy of light heal that wounded space that's within your soul, that tried to tell you that you were treated unjust. Maybe it was just an experience where you're coming out of cocoon and it feels like you're struggling, but you needed that strength, you needed that power. So whatever that unjust experience was just something that you needed to learn from. Something you needed to build your strength. Something you needed to connect to that power of God that is within you. Maybe something you needed to build that gift of forgiveness within yourself. But whatever it is, it came to be a blessing. It came to build strength. It came to build your power. It came so that you would know the power and presence of God. For in God, there is nothing that is unjust. There's only God, only the truth. There's only love. So take all that love in. Take all that love in and let go of that whole belief that life is unfair. Let go that something has been unjust. And just feel the love of God pour into your heart. And if you really want to see what we were to learn from that experience, just ask, God, show me. What is it that I'm supposed to learn from this experience? What is it I was supposed to become stronger in? Maybe it was just standing up for myself. But we just let that divine wisdom take place. We let that divine voice tell you, so that you can be set free from this energy of something being unjust. For all there is divine justice. So we claim that divine justice right here and right now. That divine justice is at work in all areas of my life. That no one can take anything away from me that is rightfully mine. For there is divine justice and I claim it now. So we just breathe in that love, we breathe in the light. Surround yourself and unfold yourself in this amazing love and light of God. God celebrating that we finally see, that we see with righteous just judgment, that all things happen as an experience to bless me in some way. For no mistakes have been made in God, and it is so. Amen.